He went home first.
He was at the end of it. We had already done all the groundwork by the time he got elected. He had done a lot of it. No, we were 2 years into it when he came along. Right, that would be fine.
He did a lot. Yeah, he did.
They are.
No, it wasn't.
There's a lady running in the
Quinn.
Margaret.
She's pretty good.
Marguerite's very smart, very knowledgeable.
Yeah, very.
Really?
40-year associate inside.
Many. Yeah, I mean, it's probably.
Yeah.
Long term.
No, that's just a financial statement. That's, yeah, they read it, they don't pretty much. Eileen's fine. She's Eileen up there.
She worked in town.
Or trip on a sidewalk or something like that. Yeah, yeah.
3 times already.
Hey, I'm the queen of falling, so okay. It's still healing. I can still feel it. I'm still getting bills from New Year's Day. Yeah. I turned them all over to my lawyer. Sure. No, they got, well, mine is a homeowner, so she didn't give us any homeowners insurance until the middle of April. Yeah, they still don't.
Supplemental.
Catch anything that was interesting?
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I was fine, so I
This is a
listed
paralegal on the title, so of course, it's kind of government counsel.
but you could do anything.
Yeah.
Cameras, are they putting more cameras in? Or they just maintaining more cameras? Page 2. GLE 1906, about halfway down the page, 2059. It would be great if they put some cameras in. Or is it just a matter of maintaining the ones they have? I doubt it. That's the price of purchase. What's the camera?
Good evening, everyone. It's 7 o'clock, and we are about to begin, excuse me, the regular meeting of Morrisville Borough Council. It's July 16th, 2018. If you'll please all rise for a moment of silence and our Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We could have a roll call, please, Virginia.
Here. Here.
Here.
Councilman Larison,
Here.
Councilman May,
Here.
Councilman Parker,
Here.
Councilman Smith,
Here.
Councilman Yeager.
Here.
Yes, she's out with the medical. medical.
Present.
Okay, thank you. I'll first let everyone know tonight we had a presentation from Triad Associates, which they're going to set that appointment for us in August. They weren't able to come tonight, so they sent their apologies. So we will move on then to the public comments. Remind everyone we have a 3-minute time frame on that that will be timed by our borough, Assistant Borough Secretary. So Holly Harmon. Please state your name and address for the record, please.
Good evening, Holly Harmon, South Pennsylvania Avenue. Two just quick things. I had stopped in the borough this afternoon to, it's mostly for Scott to pass on to the office staff. The address that they were looking for is 24 East Palmer. So they'll know. It's a code
Is this the
enforcement thing.
pool?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're aware.
Okay, well, she said she couldn't do anything without an address.
Okay.
So I got the address. On the bill list, just a question. The Real Tech Connect cameras for $4,300. Have we installed new cameras? Or is that an upkeep or maintenance thing?
Yes, go ahead.
That item on the bill list is the first half of the cost for the police department to have cameras installed at Virgin, Pennsylvania.
Okay, good, great. All right, I was hoping that's what it was. And I have one more thing I need to bring up to Debbie. I'm sorry for the delay. It's a broken ankle.
Oh, I hope there's lots of alcohol. Oh, no.
No, it's not.
I was going to share. No, I'm only kidding.
Broken ankle.
I'll open this later.
Special occasion.
I guess. Thank you for that support. Thank you. Okay. Okay, next is John Pastor. Please state your name and record and address for the record, please.
John Pastor, 25 Dieter Avenue. I have some questions on the your special meeting you had last week.
Okay.
My concerns are, we spent a lot of money to have the code enforcement people walking the town, checking sidewalks. For what?
Just to make a list of what's needed as we prepare for road programs, eventually, hopefully in the future.
Okay. When
That's been in our ordinance for years. You do know that, right? It's nothing new. That has been in our ordinance for years.
Okay. In terms with landlords and rental properties, you guys, somebody on the board made the comment of finding out who owns rental properties, which properties are rentals, which aren't, about turning that over to Keystone and let them handle everything. I think you're
We pulled that from the agenda because we're still working on that. It's something that is going to be a large task to do. We do have that as part of our international codes that we put in several years ago, and one of them last year was voted in 2017 was the rental property maintenance. We do have a maintenance already in our ordinance, so we're just going to adopt part of what was done by Keystone into that as to what gets inspected. Defining that list, we haven't figured out because it's going to be time consuming. Yeah.
And costly.
Could be.
Now, this might go to the solicitor. Can we put out some kind of an agenda to vote on, say, maybe a law to where you would give these rental landlords some sort of an amnesty? Say, for example, by November 1st, you send a letter or come into the borough and say, hey, this property, this house number on this street is a rental property, and you file for it. Mm-hmm. And after November 1st, the landlords that don't volunteer their rental properties, and we have to pay for background checks or however we're going to find out which properties are rental, could we charge them for the research work? See, if I had a rental property and we mailed out a flyer, an amnesty flyer, to every property in the borough, and I would say, okay, well, I have a rental property on Dieter Avenue. I would come up and say, this is a rental property. Here's all the information for the tenants, and it would be registered. If I didn't do it by, say, November 1st, and you guys came and said, hey, December, we know you're renting this property, and it costs $600 in man hours and time to find that, could we charge that person that fee so it wouldn't cost the borough, wouldn't cost the taxpayers all of the research money?
It's 3 minutes.
Okay.
3 minutes?
Yeah. Do you want to answer?
Response public comment, okay. He's going to say whatever he wants. Hi. The short answer to that would be no. But there's other ways to do it. For example, there could be a fine in there for not reporting, or filling out an incorrect thing, or that you charge more later on if it's determined, that sort of thing. You can use the police power of the government that way, but you can't charge them because somebody had to do research.
Because of their lack of following an ordinance?
Well, first of all, there's two things. I'm not sure what council is going to do or not going to do vis-a-vis that. That was pulled from, you were here
Yes.
last. They pulled it from the agenda, so that's not up for consideration. So I'd be speculating as to, what it is exactly we're speaking about. But so that's my answer at this point.
But is it possible to do that?
Is it possible to do what?
To charge them now?
We cannot charge them for time for research. No.
But you can fine them.
You may be able to find them, but it would depend on, I have to see the ordinance and how we're going to draft it. And I'm not exactly sure what we're talking about, so the answer is, the way we usually do it in government is with fines. Like you don't cut your grass, so there's a fine for that, or you don't.
I understand.
Plus,
that.
if the borough has to go in and cut the grass, you then lien the property. So that's how that's done.
They don't have enough guys to cut the grass.
Well, yeah. Yeah. The best we can tell you, it was pulled. We're still working on it. We haven't decided how we're going to do it.
I'm still concerned, as a taxpayer, because we don't know what this is going to cost. Mm-hmm. And another suggestion, in the future, if we have to do this work ourselves, of locating these people, could we hire some part-time people and make it cheaper than Keystone would charge?
We haven't figured out how we're going to locate all that. Like I said, it's maybe not something we can implement at this time because of the cost. And so we're not sure what type of manpower it would take from Keystone, whether we could pay that or if it would be on the borough side. So at this point, it's mute because we've pulled it. We haven't decided how we're going to end up doing that.
Okay,
So we really don't know.
I just wanted to
Okay, thank you for your
vent
time,
my
though.
concerns.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you.
you. Donna Wilson? State your name and address for the record, please.
Donna Wilson, East Post Road. I'm going to be quick. It's about Winterfest. We did try to get Winterfest through the Senior Center. The parade was very successful last year. The center decided that they did not want to host it this year coming. I would have liked to have been up here earlier to do this and speak with you guys. I've got a very sick family member. In fact, I just got back from a very rushed trip to Florida. And then today sat down and took care of this. I've spoke to Dan at Hot Rides on Delmore and Bridge Street. Hot Rides has decided that they will be the host of the parade. They will cover the cost that we need for the police department. Dan and I are going to work side by side, but I will be the point person on this. We hope Winterfest is always the first Saturday in December, so that's December 1st. The parade route will be the same as last year's. It'll start at the old Post Road Pool, the church down there, and just take the same route we did before. I have talked to Chief McClay about, what it's going to cost with the police after last year's parade. He told me he was going to try to keep it as close as he could to last year to this year. So I just want to get it on the calendar. I don't know how to go about that with you guys to get it on the calendar for December 1st.
I believe we put it up for a vote to approve the parade route and stuff like we do normally.
did already?
So, I don't believe we did, but we
Okay.
can put it up.
I
yeah.
don't have the route on here, but it's the same route.
It's the
as
same
last
route?
year.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
I don't know
that's
if you
how we
want
would
this
do it.
letter that I typed today.
Sure.
If I could assume,
Okay.
we could get it rolling.
Okay, sure.
Thank you.
We could probably put that up into August meeting, correct?
Yep.
All right, that's what we'll do, and we'll put in everyone's packet.
All right.
Dan from Hot Rods is a nice guy. I've had the opportunity to go down to speak with him, and yeah, they run a nice business.
They were quite involved last year at the end of the, when we decided we needed more people in the parade. They got very involved.
Very nice.
They really want to be involved in the town. So they're pretty excited about being the host this year, so.
Oh, good. Well, it's
So
nice it's
hopefully
going to
you guys will
continue.
approve it and we can go on.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Robert Butcher? Please state your name and address for the record, please.
Robert Butcher, 810 South Pennsylvania Avenue, Morrisville, PA. I'm not here to complain.
Oh, good.
I'm not good at this. I'd like to say, good evening to the mayor and Debbie, the council president, and all the rest of the council. And the reason I'm here is to thank everybody who worked so very hard to put a stop to all the truck traffic on South Pennsylvania Avenue. And I'd like to thank Senator McElhaney, who did a lot of his time. He devoted a lot of time to get this done. And State Representative Warren, Debbie Smith, Corinne, and Eileen, and Holly, and all the other people who I'm not aware of. And I also like to thank the Morrisville Police Department for enforcing the new traffic sign. Thank you.
You're welcome. That's been a long time coming, and I've gotten calls from quite a few people that have said thank you, that they're amazed how much it has started to calm the traffic down there. So I guess that old squeaky wheel gets the oil. It took a lot of meetings and bringing PennDOT out again and again and again. Chuck McElhaney, our senator, was very instrumental in doing that in the very beginning and made sure we set up those meetings. Council was then involved in it. Later, our representative Warren Perry was also involved. Perry Warren was involved. And yeah, so it's made a big difference. The sign telling them where to go. I've noticed now all the signs are starting to go up. No trucks in this direction. You're coming down US 1, you'll see PennDOT as they're making that dedicated turn off onto Morrisville. You got white signs now under the green ones that state vehicles 34 tons and over are prohibited from coming into town. So that can start being enforced as soon as we get that signed off with our engineer. Our engineer has been a big help with making sure all that paperwork got into place and got that moving in coordination with PennDOT. So it's been a working development with everybody. So thank you for saying that. Okay. Is there anyone else that wished to speak? No? Okay. You didn't sign up, but yes?
I didn't get to sign in. I'm
Okay.
late.
Okay.
If I sign in and speak.
You can just come to the podium, say your name and address for the record. You have 3 minutes, please.
All right, yeah, my name's Chris Urban. I live up on Grandview Avenue. Pretty concerned about what's going on here with the spending in our budget. These guys are already 300,000 over budget, and the explanations. We got a ambulance squad that's going under. I don't know if anybody's concerned about that. You got building on Bridge Street being worked on. I'm a contractor here. You got to get permits. You got to go through the zoning committee, planning committee. What's happening? Something smells really good here.
You talking about the Lehigh Rubber Building?
Yeah.
That is going through the
Yeah, you're going to
zoning
rubber
and-
stamp it after the fact?
No, it's going through the process now.
Well, how are they working on it?
It's through the redevelopment authority, but I mean, they already got their plans in. It's already been
No, no. It
processed.
doesn't work that way. You submit your plans and you can't start work until you get your permits. It's always been that way. Okay? That smells all high hell. Okay? You got people walking around doing the curbs and sidewalks. This Keystone company, whatever, they know they're working up there without permits. Why aren't they shutting them down? They're not doing their job. Fire them. Why are we paying these people? Seriously. They're wasting our money like it's going out of style here. The other people couldn't do it because they had to stay in the budget. There's a reason. I don't understand the favors that are going on here. Who's the one that's letting this stuff fly?
I don't know, it was favors.
Well, if they're working on the building without permits, and everybody knows about it. Anybody up here say no?
I can.
Well, wake up, son.
Mr. Mitchell, are you aware of any work being done right now without any permits?
I am not. The developer has a demo permit that was issued by the borough. The developer has I think it's a plumbing permit that was issued by the borough. The developer has submitted plans.
How long ago, if you could answer that?
I didn't interrupt you, sir. If you could hold on, please. Plans were submitted to the borough and have been reviewed by Keystone. Plans are being processed through the zoning hearing board. I think, in fact, I think it was just advertised for their August meeting.
It is.
And then after that, something will come to council for council approval.
Okay, and it's already rubber stamped?
Well, we've not seen it yet.
I already
so
heard there was a comment made that just bring it up, we'll rubber stamp it.
Well,
Doesn't work that way.
I can't speak to that.
Well, I'm not on record, I can't, I understand that. But, it's very disheartening to see all this stuff, These guys are all fresh meat up here, you're all new. I know you're trying to do things, but you got to stay within the budget, How do you expect to make up all this money that you're spending? Can anybody explain that? Are you going to tax us more? We already got senior citizens that can't survive now because of what we're paying. Is that a concern?
If I may, Madam President, I'd like to
Quickly,
respond to a
because
little
this
of that.
isn't- quickly, because this isn't a
real
back
quick.
and forth comment.
So when you talk about the budget and being over budget, the budget was created by a team that wasn't this team.
No.
May I finish, please? May I finish?
Go ahead, finish, man. I got a good comment.
Okay. So when we were going through the budget process last year, and many of us were a part of that process, there were items we were, I'll call it arguing or lobbying for, that were not put in the way we had asked it to be put in.
Understandable.
So when you're talking about the budget itself, there's going to be things that are going to go over budget because it was not the plan that we were looking, that many of us were looking from a cleaning up the problems we were handed perspective. So, and
All right.
so understand that when you're talking about the budget itself, it's a piece of paper that was written up without the plan that we're looking at now. So the question is, will there be a deficit, right? That's the real question that you want to know. Is there going to be a deficit at the end of the year? And this is what I'm going to tell you, because the code enforcement is the big question, and everybody's saying that that's where the money's going. So through January through May, we spent $90,393. We're trending to $216,943. That sound about right to you? Is that what you're hearing?
No, it's not what I'm hearing. Okay. But I mean, the fact that you're saying you inherited this, I mean, you got a budget no matter what. I don't care if it was you inherited what from wherever.
We inherited
a budget that was stay in, okay, and you have to stay in it. Okay, you don't just blatantly just go overspending.
Okay.
Yeah, we need help here. Our town's going under big time.
You're right.
Everybody knows that. We've known it for years. We can't get people to work together. Hello?
So if I may just finish my comment here with you. So permit fees were at $45,148. So we're 50% of what we've spent, we've collected in permit fees. We're trending to $108,355. That's just based on what we're currently doing. That could change. So the actual cost is about $108,000 for that company, right? That's what we're trending to end up spending. That said, they're putting 16 to 17 hours a day into cleaning up the non-enforcement that we've been going through for many, many, many years. The non-enforcement of the rules, right?
Specify non-enforcement.
Non-enforcement of requirements for your fire safety, for your curbs, for your sidewalks, you name it.
Well, isn't curbs and sidewalks done when you sell your property? I mean, that's what I was understanding. Because I
don't know.
When I bought my house, I had to redo everything.
Okay. All right. So they're putting 16 to 17 hours a day, which is about 2 full-time employees. The cost of 1 full-time employee with benefits, with sick leave, vacation time, all that good stuff is going to cost you more than the $108,000 to have all of those folks that have the certifications that we need to do the things that need to get done in this town.
Okay. Yeah,
with all due respect, this isn't supposed to be a bantering back and forth. This is a 3-minute comment time. It's taken up our whole business meeting. So if you could just wrap this up, please.
Yeah, I'd like to wrap it up. I just think there's something stinky going on, and it's pretty blatant. It really is. You know, and I think these guys need to sit down and, figure out what's going on. You can't be driving the spending like this. What's going on with the ambulance? I mean, we're going to wait 15 minutes for somebody to come to have emergency service if we lose our ambulance squad. Mm-hmm. I know you're saying you got 200,000. It's going to cost 200 grand to start up get somewhere else. Where are we getting that money from? Yeah, I mean, you should have spent the money wisely, a little more wiser. It's just my opinion.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, public comment is closed at this time. We're going to move on to 6, approval of the minutes. Approval for the regular Borough Council meeting minutes of May 21st, 2018. Can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, the motion was moved in second. Any questions or comments from the council on this? No? All in favor, say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 8-0. I'm sorry, 7-0. Forgot Eileen's not here, I'm sorry. Next is our finance. We don't have a separate treasury report. We'll go to 7B, motion to approve the bill list and pay the bills. Can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Motion was moved in second. Any questions or comments from the council on the bill list and paying the bills?
Yes, I just have a quick question. The zero turn mower for $9,375, is that an addition or is that a replacement?
Yes.
What?
I asked permission to speak.
Oh, okay. I thought she was responding to me. I apologize.
That was for replacement equipment for the Public Works Department and part of their budget.
Also, it looks like we've spent, for Gilmore and Associates, I'm like somewhere around $58,780 last month. I don't know. I think this is all for just grant preparation and things like that. Has the borough applied for any grants on its own without going out to our engineer?
The ones that were involved were engineers specs needed for that. They were
Yes.
all previous stuff that they were working on.
So the borough hasn't.
But for separately, you mean from any other organization? No.
And that wasn't just for grant work. It also included the road resurfacing project we're doing with the MMA and also the milling and overlay project for Plaza Boulevard,
And that was paid with liquid fuels, correct?
both of which would be paid with liquid fuels funds, yes.
Okay. Any other questions or comments on this motion? Okay, can I have a roll call, please, on this?
Councilman Bowers?
Yes.
Councilman Chronicle?
Yes.
Councilman Larison?
Yes.
Councilman Nay?
Yes.
Councilman Parker?
Yes.
Councilman Smith?
Yes.
Councilman Yates?
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0. We'll go on to the reports now. 8A is the mayor's report.
Thank you, Madam President. A few things I'd like to share with everyone tonight is, actually, you kind of heard this touched upon earlier. We hope by next month to have the new cameras installed on Bridge and Pennsylvania Avenue. The video from those cameras will be sent back to police headquarters. 2 of the new police cars have been delivered. I actually didn't get a chance to see if they're in the parking lot tonight, but they are here. They may be on the street if they're not in the parking lot. The truck enforcement, as we heard, for the traffic on Pennsylvania Avenue has actually begun. There's a large majority of 18-wheel tractors, trailers used in Philadelphia. It's only 10%, as of a few days ago, of the signage required by PennDOT has been posted. Chief McClay's been in contact with them to make sure that doesn't get missed. And I do know that the police department went down Pennsylvania Avenue and handed out letters to the businesses explaining that it's the difference between through traffic and deliveries, because there was some concern. And I understand why there was concern. First of all, they were upset. They thought council was trying to ban them for getting deliveries. And we explained, no, this is actually a state mandate, and it's not for deliveries. If you have business, even if you're working on the trucks, whatever the business is, they certainly can come to your establishment, but that doesn't mean they can come, pretend to stop and keep going. That's through traffic. So that is, as we heard, that is something that's been worked on for a long time, and that seems to actually be getting somewhere that everyone's happy with. The emergency ops plan has been completed. I reviewed it. I also asked for electronic copy and sent that into the borough last week. So we'd like that on the agenda for next month. That needs to be passed by council via resolution. And also, there was a problematic house on Althea Avenue, which is actually pretty much wrapped up. It took a few months, but it's a lot better than the year or two that people were projecting that it could take. Chief McClay was very involved. The neighbors actually have reached out. They're very happy that that place has been addressed constantly, and the people have been evicted, and things are moving the way everyone would like to see them. And lastly, last week there was a little discussion about the Tour of Honor, and Chief McClay said he would actually be more than happy to donate $100 on behalf of council, on behalf of the borough, if the council would choose to do that. He'd be more than willing to step up. So that is the extent of my report this evening.
Thank you. Okay. 8B, there is no junior council report, so we're going to go on to the action items. And 9A is a motion to exercise the contract option of an additional 2 years with Republic Services of Pennsylvania LLC for refuge and recyclables collection. Can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Motion was moved and second. Any questions or comments from the council on this motion?
Do we want to read for the public what Republic sent in as far as their Morrisville Borough action plan in regards to some of the issues that the residents have been having?
You can if you'd like to. Anyone that didn't see it, I don't know
Anyone
that it was
object if I did
posted.
that?
I don't believe so. Go ahead.
Okay. To Morrisville Borough, based on our conversation July 12, 2018, Republic Service has developed an action plan for the prevention and management of any potential issues resulting from solid waste and recycle collection in Morrisville Borough. Below, we have outlined potential issues and our intended response. Missed streets. In order to prevent the occurrence of missed stop, an operations supervisor will contact borough staff each collection day at 11 a.m. to field any issues. A route driver will continue to check in with the borough staff at the end of each collection day. If a missed stop is called into Republic Services customer service, borough staff, or the operations department, while the collection truck is still en route, a truck will return to the stop and service the customer. If a missed stop is called in after the routes are completed and the trucks have left the area, a truck will return within 24 hours to service the customer. Blocked streets. In the event of a blocked street or any other collection issue that may arise, a Republic Service representative will contact the borough staff to advise of the issue. All drivers will be required to return to the blocked area same day prior to leaving the area to check for access. If access is blocked, the borough staff will be notified and a truck will return within 24 hours to collect the refuse and/or recycle. Glass on the roadway. All Republic Service trucks are required by company policy and Department of Transportation regulations to perform an in-depth daily pre-trip inspection. In addition to daily pre-trip inspections, each route driver will be required to check their vehicle throughout the day, checking for any leakage of any kind onto the roadway and to ensure the vehicle is in safe operating condition. In the event a leak of any kind occurs, the driver will pull over immediately to contain any discharge and contact an operations supervisor. Republic Service will either send a crew to address the spillage or contact a third-party vendor to address the issue if needed. Can placement. As per our conversation on May 31st, 28, all route drivers and helpers are instructed to return the receptacles to the same approximate spot, where the resident left it for pickup. Any issues on incorrect can placement should be reported to the operations supervisor for resolution. The above action plan was established to outline Republic Service response to any operational issues that may arise from weekly collection. It is Republic Service's goal to provide a superior level of customer service in a safe and responsible manner. Thank you.
I don't know, was there anyone from Republic here tonight? Someone was going to stop by? No? Okay. Any other questions or comments on the motion?
Mr. Mitchell, did we have many complaints today?
We did not. Not everyone has been privy to this, but last week, Republic Services made some personnel changes on their staff handling Morrisville Borough's account. Also today and for the foreseeable future, there was a separate vehicle from Republic with a supervisor riding around with the crew today. And last week we put Republic on notice that any further service failures will result in us exercising our rights under the penalty phase of the contract. So we'll see what comes of it.
If I may.
Sure.
So Mr. Mitchell, that sounds good, and I'm very happy that they are engaging us that way. However, I kind of feel like it's because we're about to vote on their contract. This is something that we gave them the opportunity to do months ago, and they failed. And I kind of feel like we're going to be right back there in a couple months. That's just my 2 cents.
Anyone else? Okay. We have a roll call on this motion, please.
Yes.
Councilwoman Chronicle?
Yes.
Councilwoman Larison?
Yes.
Councilman Nay?
Yes.
Councilman Parker?
Yes.
Councilwoman Smith?
Yes.
Councilman Hager?
No.
Motion passes 6-1. I will say, hopefully, Republic follows through with what they have told the borough they're going to do, so we get what we're paying for. Motion 9B, motion to approve the cooperation agreement between Morrisville Borough and the Redevelopment Authority.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, the motion's been moved in second. Any questions or comments on this motion?
Yeah, I just have a quick question. We just received this, and I'm not really too sure what exactly it is, but just through looking at it, it looks like the RDA could basically take over borough property, and basically the borough is going to be responsible for all those funds. I mean, is there any way they can give a short presentation on this, and maybe we could pull this for next month?
I believe this is a cooperation agreement that we have done with them before when it comes to looking into blighted properties, and this is just an agreement that says on how that would be handled. Each of the properties that would end up coming under them. Sure.
This is, it's been slightly modified, but it's standard. We've done this in the other townships that we represent, other municipalities. We are responsible for the cost, that's true. But when they sell it, we get, to the extent they recover money, they pay us back.
If any.
Yeah, they pay us back. It's like a rolling fund. The way it's done in Bristol Township, it's like a rolling fund. So money goes out, money comes in.
Well, it says that the RDA is going to invoice the borough on a quarterly basis for services and expenses. Like I said, we just got this a few days ago, so, I mean, this could be the greatest thing since sliced bread, but I would just like a little bit more information. Oh.
Well, if I may make a comment?
Sure, go ahead.
It does seem very similar to how I perceive the understanding with the Cloverleaf, as far as the cooperative agreement, and obviously if the RDA has costs that they want to recover their cost. The one thing that concerned me, and I don't know if anyone picked up on it, but in item number 7, it does use the word eminent domain. So I'm always concerned because we have a blighted property board now. This is slightly different because it says vacant property. This added blight. So I read through this, and that was my only concern, and I highly doubt that I'm voting on this, but I just wanted to make sure everyone was aware that it does mention eminent domain in here.
That's standard.
Your Honor, that's standard. It's, because they have that power once we work with them, because we can't, the borough can't blight we blight it, but then you have to give it to them to do
To handle it,
the dirty work, to do the actual nuts and bolts. We don't do the nuts and bolts. We're not permitted.
Oh, I know.
So that's how we work together with them to clean up properties that people have neglected or allowed to become a nuisance to the community. And, okay, that's it. And those communities, I know you're all in favor of
I get all that. It's just
but that's standard. This is nothing. I want to assure you, this is nothing that's just in for Morrisville.
Right.
We have it in Bristol. We have it in the other municipalities.
It's a standard agreement.
Wherever the RDA is, we have that.
Right.
You have to have it because they have to have that power.
Yeah, this same agreement goes with any municipality that has the RDA that's working on properties with them. Is there anyone else? Okay. We can, if council is in agreement, we can hold this until August. It doesn't have to be voted on today. If you want more time to take a look at it, compared to the one we actually did for the Emerita property was another one of the agreements that we did before we got started with that because same thing. before they did the paperwork that went up to Doylestown. We had to do the same agreement. I have one of these at home for that property too, so. But I mean, we'll table it if you want, or we'll just take it off, and if you want, that'd be easier, and just vote it next month if you'd like. Would you like to just have it removed?
If I may, Madam President. So we've got some properties that are actually a physical risk to people that we really just can't sit by and keep pushing this off and pushing this off. I will say that we were given several days to read through it, and in that time, there could have been questions asked. I'm not of the mindset that we should continue to delay cleaning up these things.
Actually, that comment really scares me. If there's a list of properties that you feel are dangerous, it sounds like you have properties in mind that you want to take over.
Are you aware of the burnt down properties on Park Ave?
I am not aware of these properties.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so I'm just going to ask, the majority of the council, do you want this taken off and moved to next month to review it? Or is the majority okay with just voting and they understand what's in this?
Madam President, point of order, you do have a motion and a second on the floor, so I think you have to procedurally vote it, table it. I don't think this way you can just simply erase it off.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I'd like to make a motion to table this motion.
Okay, motion's on the floor table. And we
Maybe that's just me.
take a round of a vote on that.
Second. Yeah.
Now we vote on the.
Okay, the first, you're voting on the motion to table. If this is passed, then it's tabled. If it's not passed, then you vote on the motion.
Right.
I think the motion was to approve the agreement.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly.
So there's a motion to table that's in order.
Point of order again, I didn't hear the second. Thank you, Ted.
Yes. Okay, can I have a roll call on the motion to table this motion?
Councilman Bowers?
No.
Councilman Prodigal?
Yes.
Councilman Larison?
No.
Councilman Nay?
No.
Councilman Parker?
Yes.
Councilman Smith?
No.
Councilman Yeager?
No.
Motion passes 5-2.
No, the motion is
For the
defeated. The motion to table is defeated.
Defeated.
5-2.
Okay.
Now, the motion,
The
there's a
original.
motion, there's a motion and a second
To approve. I'll read it again. The motion to approve the cooperation agreement between Morrisville Borough and the Redevelopment Authority. It was moved and second. And can we have a roll call on that, please?
Councilman Bowers?
Yes.
Councilman Prodigal?
No.
Councilman Larison?
Yes.
Councilman Nay?
Yes.
Councilman Parker?
No.
Councilman Smith?
Yes.
Councilman Yeager?
Yes.
Motion passes 5-3. I'm sorry, 5-2. Oh, geez, I keep forgetting about Eileen. Okay, next motion is 9C. Motion to approve the hourly rate increase for zoning hearing board solicitor to $145 an hour.
So moved.
I think,
We get a motion.
Council, well, no, before you do that, I think it'd be better if you amended it to, if council wants to do this, to make a motion to approve to pay the same hourly rate to the zoning hearing board solicitor as the borough solicitor as it changes from time to time.
Correct.
That way you don't have to revisit it anytime that changes, which is, I think, what his letter said that's what he would.
Looking to do anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
So the
Okay, but
motion
that's-
is to approve
so
the
that would be-
hourly rate
That's the
increase.
motion that, if council wants to do that, that's a suggestion.
Okay. So a motion to approve the hourly rate increase for the zoning hearing board solicitor as the same as.
The same as the borough solicitor,
borough
as
solicitor.
the time, as that amount changes from time to time.
Okay.
Increase in the amended motion? Word increase?
It was amended. We didn't get a second, a move and a second on
Call the motion.
Second.
it. Okay. It was moved by,
Essentially, what the motion says is that the zoning hearing board solicitor will get paid whatever you're paying the borough solicitor.
correct.
That's what it means. Okay. With that, I'll keep my mouth shut.
All right.
So
Get all
moved.
that?
So
Yeah.
moved for the amended.
Second.
All right. And we had a second, Mr. Yeager. Okay, now we'll vote on that. Have a roll call, please.
Councilman Bowers?
Yes.
Councilman Chronicle?
Yes.
Councilman Larison?
Yes.
Councilman Day?
Yes.
Councilman Parker?
Yes.
Councilman Smith?
Yes.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0. 9D was the motion to accept the resignation of Planning Commission member Deborah Colgan. Yeah, we actually didn't need to vote to accept that resignation for that. It really wasn't necessary. She's put her letter in and gave her reasons for it. And so we're just putting up, the next motion is the 9E, which would be Planning Commission appointment. So the 9E is a position appointment to fill the unexpired term running through December 31st, 2021.
I nominate John DeWild.
Well, I could have asked for nomination, okay?
Oh, sorry.
John DeWild.
Oops.
Is there any other nominations? Any other nominations?
I'd like to nominate Hussein Jalad.
Hussein Jalal. Okay, any other nominations? Okay, the nominations will be closed. We'll do this in the order that they were received. So the first nomination was John DeWild. We will do a round of a vote for the council, and you will say yes or no for John DeWild in that position.
Councilman Bowers?
No.
Councilman Chronicle?
Yes.
Councilman Larison?
Yes.
Councilman Day?
Yes.
Councilman Parker?
No.
Councilman Smith?
Yes?
And Councilman Yates?
Yes.
Motion passes 5-2. So, Mr. John DeWild, congratulations on that appointment to complete the term of Ms. Colgan that has left for the Planning Commission will expire December 31st, 2021. Okay. Is there any unfinished business? I don't think so. Mr. Mitchell, no? Okay. Any new business? I don't believe. No? Okay, then we'll go to the borough officials. Is there anything from the borough officials?
I just have a couple of things. The first thing's really quick. Morrisville United's third annual March Through Town will be Saturday, August 11th. We're going to meet behind Giant starting at 8:30 a.m. The march begins at 10 a.m. We wind back down to the park. We get there at approximately noon. There will be bands, speakers, and vendors. What we've been working on is addiction. Families and people that are facing addiction. We've helped a lot of people. We've helped a lot of families find beds when they couldn't find beds, things like that. So if you have any questions, please feel free to check out the Facebook page, or please feel free to come down to the park. Again, that's Saturday, August 11th. I'm told that a former NFL star, Vance Johnson, will be among the speakers. Don't know who that is, but I'm not a football gal, but I mean, Vance Johnson might be. So anyway, yes. So that's Saturday again. That's Saturday, August 11th, and that's Morrisville United.
Okay.
And the second thing is I'm just requesting that the borough manager and council president add back the committee reports to the agenda. I'm still unclear as to why they were moved in the first place. They only take 1 or 2 minutes, especially considering the fact that not all committees meet every month. We were supposed to be receiving minutes in their place, but we've either received none or we received them weeks and weeks after the fact. There have been apparently extensive Facebook conversations regarding this proposed additional income tax on our working residents, and Evan from Newtown Ambulance even mentioned it at our agenda meeting 6 days ago, and a resident mentioned it to me that it was talked about in the newspaper, and yet we have not discussed that at all during an agenda meeting or a council meeting. I'm sure there are residents that may be hearing this for the first time right now, as not everyone in town is on Facebook. If that is something that's going to come down the pike in the next couple of months, the residents and all council members should at least be told that information. So for that reason, including again the fact that the reports don't add much time to the meetings, maybe 3 minutes tops, I am again asking that the committee reports be added back to the meeting so that we at least all have the same information and we're not getting it in dribs and drabs. Thank you.
Full transparency.
May I ask a
Sure.
question? Councilwoman, do we have application package for the August 11th event?
For Morrisville United?
Yeah.
I believe so. The porta potties have been ordered, and I sent, I think the certificate of insurance was sent in today.
Okay, great, thank you.
I think the police have been ordered and all that too.
Before, is that, you're done, Ms. Corinne?
I am, thank you.
This question you were saying about people finding out that there's something being put out there from the council about some kind of tax increase, there wasn't anything put out about a tax increase from the borough. There was nothing, no statement put out that the council was raising any taxes. So whatever you're hearing on Facebook, we don't govern by Facebook. Hate to say it.
No, that's my point.
Oh, exactly. So if it's not coming from the horse's mouth from the borough that we're raising the taxes until that time frame.
Well, it was from a council person's mouth on Facebook. So again, I don't understand why we eliminated the committee reports. They're maybe 2 minute stops. And again, it's just so that we're all kept abreast of what's going on.
It could submit them in.
What?
Submit your reports in. Submit those reports in.
But I haven't seen any reports, is what I'm saying.
As a matter of fact, when was the last time you had a committee meeting for yours?
Well, so you agree with me?
Everyone else's. Well, yeah, but are you doing any that you're giving a report for? It's the same thing.
I certainly will, if we bring them back on the agenda. So it sounds like you agree with me.
Okay, sure.
So will they be back on the agenda for August?
I don't see why it's necessary. I really don't. They submitted in.
But they're not. That's my point. We haven't received minutes for a lot of these.
We have received them. The only ones that have met have been the Finance Committee, and they have submitted the minutes in.
Absolutely.
Okay. I don't see how we can't put 2 minutes for that.
And the last meeting, the last month was council for the beautification, so there was no meeting for that. And the minutes before that were submitted.
We're not.
We didn't have a beautification meeting last month.
No, as I just said, so there wasn't any minutes for it.
Actually, if I could, I don't think we've received the final minutes from the last Finance Committee meeting. That was just
That's
like 2
correct.
weeks ago.
I sent out a draft to the members that needs to be updated and sent over to
The ones before that, we...
Oh, no, they were approved.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, okay.
I'm just reminding you that we
I
haven't
did send
gotten
them
the
to you.
last ones.
I sent
The
them.
draft, yes. I haven't seen final, though.
That was the final.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, that
Okay.
didn't change.
Okay,
Yep.
all right. No
It
problem.
went back for corrections, and then after the corrections, then it was going to be submitted to the council.
Correct.
Is there anyone else?
I have something. This year, August 7th, in Williamson Park will be the 5th annual National Night Out here in Morrisville. We hope everybody attends. It's from 6 to 9 p.m. We will have our food trucks and our fire and our emergency services will be there. We have the human hamster balls will be coming back, and the mystery room is coming back. We have the Touch a Truck, a lot of vendors and food trucks. We have Kona Ice. So I just want to invite everybody in the surrounding and in our borough to Williamson Park, August 7th from 6 to 9 p.m.
Thank you. Is there anyone else? Any other comments?
Madam President, there was a resident that contacted me this week. We have a lot of commuters here in town. A lot of them go over to the Hamilton train station, expressed her interest in having a train station here in Morrisville. When speaking with Mr. Mitchell, I realized that's a huge dollar amount, but I just thought I'd put it out there, and if there's anybody that is interested in that, they can contact me through my borough email to see what kind of interest there is in that.
Mm-hmm. It's a big task. The
Yeah.
borough has attempted it several years back. It's not an easy process through the government to get that through.
Right. Very, very large price tag.
It is, and we're really at the mercy of what the railroads will do as far as putting a depot there and how close they are to the Trenton one and the Bristol one. So there's a lot of back and forth with that. And right now they're spending a lot of money in the Levittown one. They worked up from Croydon to Levittown. Maybe someday we'll get it put here.
Okay.
But we're not on the list that I know of right now, but it doesn't hurt to get the information.
Sure.
Yeah. If I may, I've actually touched on that subject a few times. I've reached out and the planning board for SEPTA and Amtrak, and they say they just can't at this time justify the cost, as you just heard. They call it trip generators, and they said there's just not enough people that would use the train. They realize everyone that lives in Morrisville would love it for the convenience. You're next to a major hub, which is Trenton, and it just doesn't look like it's going to happen. But it is something I think people would like to see happen. But when I reached out to them, which is on more than one occasion, believe me, their story has never changed. Thank you.
I wonder too how many people would be drawn in from other areas to use it besides just the people here in Morrisville.
Yeah, we have a lot of people in Morrisville that actually do use the commuter trains and have to travel to one of the other towns to use it. So that's, like I said, it'd be something nice if we could have that. Foreseeable future, like the mayor said, I don't see that happening, but you never know. Could be on the wish list, I guess.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, then I will entertain a motion to adjourn. Okay, motion is moved and second. Meeting is adjourned at 7:55.
We got a vote? All in favor? Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.